Greetings and welcome to my dear Aquarius. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. Tarot of the Twin Sun is a functional division within the Order of the Twin Sun. I do welcome you to the channel. We'll go ahead and get started with a 9-card spread known as the Great Mirror. The Great Mirror is a tool devised in order to see the apparent energies that are karmic in nature that exist between you and a significant other. And you will be able to see reflexively how things pan out. This shall not resonate for everyone, but please take only what you will in terms of bits of guidance that may occur for you in the month of March 2021. Otherwise the 11th house is open. We'll go ahead and pull from a deck known as the BP Gamal Paris France deck, the Grand Attila School. It's a 77 card deck, about 131 years old. And we'll go ahead and get started without boundaries. Okay, there is a mode of action here that revolves around that which can be grown, that which can be had in terms of being watched over or perhaps influenced in some sort of way. This has to do with miscarriages also, letting loose that which no longer sustains symbiotic relationships, okay? This has to do with shared cultures, shared minds, as well as what is inherited through the connection, okay? This also talks about the other, trying to understand through the other the very mystical or perhaps realized ways of trying to cohabit, trying to understand the ways of letting go of that which no longer serves this cohabitation or this symbiotic relationship. Okay. This also has to do with breaking free from anything that has been toxic in any way. The Hanged Man shows up. It's a very interesting Hanged Man. I want to show you this. Hanged Man in the upright, La Prudence. Okay. This is why I have this deck. It's highly esoteric. Being able to test the serpent and also having the wherewithal in a Virgoan way to treat that with the caduceus and the double snake around the cross. Okay, so there is a possibility of purgation here, purgation of some very deep insights that have to do with hidden suns, hidden mercurial energy that is being shaken up. And perhaps you're purging thoughts about this connection, okay? Shaken up in order to set it loose. Commitments are being let loose here on your end. Aquarius showing up again, and this is causing a great deal of mischief for them, your significant other, okay? If this is not resonating so far, please tune out. Otherwise, we'll see what happens. I think overall, this the way things are panning out in terms of this connection is protected. There's a way of truly healing in some fashion, but also a need to reach out, but an inability to do so, because there are certain ties. Um, but the reaching out occurs more on the mental level. Note that anything that you think about may occur in actual reality in terms of an echo or an iteration. This is magic, and you have to be very conscious of the thoughts that you set out there. I think you already know that as an Aquarian. There also is a possibility of truly setting loose or getting naked in some sort of way, creating a sense of malady, being a free spirit, but also no longer being invested in certain things, especially this connection. Perhaps you were at one point. Because of such, the Three of Swords emerges on their end. Difficulty, heartbreak, as well as troubles of the mind and the spirit in general. It's not your fault, but there is a certain motif about the evolution of Aquarius that revolves around unorthodoxy, or perhaps getting totally naked and uninvested in certain things, okay? And this really shows a type of reality, if you think about it. The color of nude, the ability to truly embrace that, whatever and however subjective it may look, okay, is here. There also is a blockage of communication, the Ace of Swords in reverse here, though it may be that they are trying to communicate to you. Be careful, because there's an element of restlessness, and a need for rest on their end, and perhaps this sword may or this dagger may come around at one point or another, not to hurt you or anything like that, but to bring you a form of truth that may come suddenly. Okay, sudden truth may come, but because the Ace of Swords is here also on a conscious level, perhaps you are aware of the very thoughts that occur between you and the significant other that may be coming into terms of feelings or realities that may be elicited. So you have to be beware of those. I'm not telling you to fear anything here. No, that's quite the opposite. Awareness will help you to understand some of these inklings that may emerge on a psychical level that you can be aware of, okay? On a deeper level, on a very deep level, there's something about this connection that helps you to understand how you have invested into certain things in life in general, okay? These have to do with complexes, that have to do with the militarization, the sort of forward movement of certain things, militarization of the mind especially. This person is ruled by the mind. There also is a vata-like complexion in terms of doshas. So they are very lifted, they are very light, they're intellectual in nature, but because of such, the mind rules them, and there's a certain desperation about them that needs to be tempered in some sort of way in order to sharpen the mind. But there also is a type of release in terms of the other that is emerging out of the karma of the situation. Release of the other that helps to understand how things may, in terms of a need for protection, a need for harboring, for bringing in this energy and having it gestate and having these thoughts grow and evolve into truths, there's difficulty here. There's difficulty. Because what they do want is a type of detachment, but they can't seem to find it. They move out of the connection, they look at other places, and perhaps there's something about you that feels driven in terms of the northern nature of this connection, northern tied to the North Node or perhaps the North Star, some sort of directionality that helps you to understand certain realities that may be manifested in terms of the things around this connection. There also is an activation of Mercury and the Moon, and new moon cycles may deeply affect the nature of this equation, this connection. Okay, what occurs here, and in all irony, really, is the Ten of Cups. An understanding of human needs here, of human expectations that revolve around familial responsibilities, around connections that are built around communities and strong humanitarian ideals. Okay, So there's a feeling that both of you belong in the same city, in the same locale. And this leads to a type of tension because there's an isolated aspect about you. There also is a very strong need for expansion outside in different areas and venues that they need to explore, especially in terms of the mind. So it's difficult. Um, this leads to, excuse me, a type of grounding that needs to occur, but it's more deliberate in nature. Um, it's more effervescent in nature. Also, it's very airy. Uh, there's something about the emotional connection that you may feel beholden to that you wanted to resolve at one point, but you just let it go in terms of the romance, especially. There also feels like there's a twist of fate or an ill fate about this, and you're trying to accept that and sort of not really care or perhaps intellectualize it to the point of letting it go. Um, but at the same time, there's a strange, compelling energy that is sort of the stepping stone that revolves around the Ace of Rods, the Ace of Wands here. Some sort of passion, some sort of expression that needs to be expressed, okay, here. They have hope. There's something about them that also has hope. They also want to feel grounded. What is occurring out of this is a sort of fallout in terms of idealisms, okay? And that is a good thing. But at the same time, you lose the capacity for romance. You also lose the capacity for exploration of the mind in terms of enlightenment, okay? So it's very difficult because there is a Vata-like complexion here that has to do with letting go and totally being not even there on both ends, really, and that's what you're trying to do. Um, yeah, one more successful than the other, but at the same time, a very strong feeling or complexion of elongement, the pain and the hope and the pain and the hope and the pain here on their end. Um, I think you have a very strong presence within this connection. It is based on really what you can let go in terms of what you've invested and becoming, like I said, the color of nude, and also being lifted enough to sort of set free in some sort of way, but letting the fates take over and then having it feel like you have to curse the fates for what has been handed to you. I mean, perhaps there's a rebellious quality about you that wants to be totally free. That's what I'm seeing. As far as advice goes, some shadow work needs to be done before things can move forward. So perhaps you can do that. There also is a strong Cancerian energy that revolves around your side of the deal. And this involves compressed efforts, compressed emotional complexes that need to be harnessed in order for you to move forward, okay? It's like your steam-powered locomotor. Otherwise, yeah, that is the Aquarian reading. You guys have been coming up for the past 2 months very strongly in all of my readings, so there has to be something Uranian going on in the sky. Otherwise, I do wish you well. Please take care. Bye-bye.